Lord put a few things on my heart, and I didn't want to take from the message that he gave my dad. So Dad always told me that I could record a video and upload it to his channel. So this is that. The video just got done. And I had a argument with a Catholic on TikTok not too long ago, and it spanned over 2 days. And while Dad was preaching, I just really began to ponder on it. And I can see the good qualities of the Catholic tradition of to want to do, like, they really want to show that they do love Christ. But the problem with that is that they put too much, I guess, holiness and idolatry onto these things. And the thing that we were arguing about was what they call the Eucharist, or the breaking of bread and drinking of wine. And I kept referring to bread in general. And this person got so offended that I would just, not show the respect to Jesus, because they truly believe that the bread is Jesus. And if you disrespect the bread, you disrespect Jesus. And this person got so upset, they kept insulting me. And I would bring up the idea of the thief on the cross, that he didn't have time to break bread with Jesus. He didn't have time to drink the wine. And I talked about Balaam's donkey, that God used it, but we don't consider the donkey to be, a religious symbol that you need to honor, like the Catholics see the Eucharist. And I realized the problem with what they were doing is that when you partake in communion, someone prays over the bread. And when that it is prayed over, then it becomes Christ and his body. But when you talk about bread in general, they don't see that, and they turn that into idolatry. And I kept talking about the thief on the cross, who didn't have time to do all the things that the Catholic faith said you need to do to get confirmed in the church, to have a wife, to take part in the Eucharist, to perform healing acts. Like, trust me, look up the 7 sacraments and you'll understand what I'm talking about. The thief on the cross didn't have time to do this. And so finally he just had his Hail Mary, his last hurrah of an insult, said, "So it is of clear conscience to me that you serve the thief on the cross instead of Christ." And I just had it up to here, and I said, "You retard. I am the thief on the cross. I was hanging up there in my shame, in my sin, and Christ rescued me. He didn't have time to do all of the sacraments. He didn't have time to kiss the ring of the Pope. He didn't have time to do any of that. In his moment of need, he asked God, 'Will you save me?' And he said yes, and was saved." And so some of you out there have been hurt by the church and have been told that while God came to you and saved you from your sin, they have come to rebind you in chains. And I came here to tell you today that's not true. That you are saved. And as long as you continue to love Christ, you will do things that he is calling you to do, regardless of whatever church says that you have to do. You will read your word faithfully. You will attend church wherever you can, whether that's online with us or whether that's in a building, because that's all you've got. You will pursue Christ in every fashion of your life. It's like you will marry him. Like when you marry your wife or marry your husband and you wear a ring to signify, "Hey, I have been taken." You don't just, "Oh, I've been taken," and that's it. No, you talk about your wife. You talk about your husband. You show signs of love without even being asked. The relationship between you and Christ will prosper. And on a different note, there's someone in my life who I believe God has shown me a trouble that is coming their way. And I think this goes to many of you who are watching. You think for the past few years in your life, the hell that you've gone through is God strengthening you, putting a trial through, so that way you can become stronger and just more close to him. And that's not the case. You are exactly where you put yourself. The life you have right now is the life you chose for yourself. And the storm that's coming is God telling you, "Hey, you are where you are because you chose the life that you wanted to live and did not choose the life that I wanted you to live. So now I'm going to tear everything down. I am going to shake everything up to where you realize that the only way you can make it is through Christ, through Him. So some of you are not living in good relationships. Some of you are living with people who are desperately mean to you. Some of you are living where it seems impossible to get out of. And you may think that God is teaching you a certain lesson. No, the lesson He's teaching you is that you put yourself there and that you need to trust in Him to get out. And you're not at that place yet. You're probably watching this thinking, oh, I can kind of see what Josh was saying, but I don't fully see it. I don't get a witness in my spirit. Don't worry. When the trial comes on your doorstep and blows throughout the whole house, and every day is just hell for you, you'll realize that, wow, Joshua was right. I am in a place, my bed has been made, and I'm the one who made it. Like I believe it was David said, lo, I made my bed in hell. Thou art with me. You've made your bed in hell. Yeah, He's going to be with you, but you are in hell. And so you are going to have to, in these coming months, in these coming days, in these coming weeks, in these coming years, put your trust in Him. Ride His coattails and let Him pull you out of the mud that you put yourself in. And that's what I wanted to talk about, to give hope to people who think that, they're in the shadow of the Almighty right now, that they're learning a lesson, or that just you think you're all right. I promise you, you're not. You are not. Some of you, God is going to stir you up and shake you out of that nest, like my dad likes to tell me all the time about the eagle. Pulls the feathers out, makes it thorny again, and then once the bird starts to wonder, what else is outside of the life I've lived, the eagle throws the bird out of the nest and will catch it and keep doing that until that bird flies on out and lives its own life. God is trying to get you to realize the nest you're in is comfortable now, or maybe a little bit uncomfortable. He's about to take all the feathers out, and He's going to start throwing you out. So don't take that as God is mad at you, that He hates you, that He's punishing you. My dad talks about all the time, says that He is the potter, we are the clay. But He's got to crush you. You are dried clay. You are the pottery that you have made yourself. He's got to add new clay. He's got to break you down to dust, add more water, so He can shape you into something else, something He intended, not what you intended. And while you go through this process, to bring it back to the Catholic argument I was talking about earlier, is you got to realize the people you talk to might be the thief on the cross. So don't bring them down telling them they haven't done enough. Encourage them to do more. So thank you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and continue to pray for my family, continue to pray for the people in your lives, and all in all, just put your trust in God and let go.